Welcome back to Ginger Snaps Reality. This is Real Housewives of Rhode Island. It is new, and there are several ladies in this reality series. So there's Ashley. Love Ashley. She was on The Bachelor, Crystal season. And then she went and did Bachelor in Paradise, and she met Jared, who was on Caitlyn's episode or season, and was so crazy about him. And it took for Ashley to date somebody else in Bachelor Nation for Jared to realize that, what am I doing, that he was actually in love with her. So they have 2 kids, 2 boys, and they run a coffee house, Audrey's. And Ashley is an influencer and has a podcast with Ben, who was the Bachelor from Caitlyn's season, Ben Higgins. And then next we have Rosie, who loves pink, has a pink Jeep. She's best friends with Ashley. She used to be a anchor on TV. She's newly married to Rich. And now she does, I guess it's influencing. She does events on weekends. And then next we have Liz, who's best friends with Dolores, who was on Real Housewives of New Jersey, which is coming back. Dolores, Melissa, and Teresa, and then new people. And Liz is married and has stepchildren. Their birth mom was not in their lives. Next is Kelsey. Guess you could call her a sugar baby. Her boyfriend is that famous judge who passed away recently, I guess last year, Caprio. And she lives in her boyfriend's house. I guess she had called herself like a kept woman since she was 19, and now she's 30. And he goes to Florida, and supposedly he has a girlfriend there. So, very interesting arrangement. And I guess Kelsey has another boyfriend here, because the things that she wants, she knows she won't get from the first boyfriend, like marriage, kids. Next, we have Rula. She owns her own financial business, and her husband is a foot doctor and has been having an affair, and we'll get more into that with the episodes as it goes on. Then we have Alicia, and she has a little girl, and she is engaged, has been engaged for 9 years, but she's seen the bad marriage that her parents had, so I think she's not in any rush to get married. Okay. And Alicia, she kind of reminds me and looks like Karen Reed, and even with the accent. And then we have Jo Ellen. And Jo Ellen has 3 kids, and she works And she seems, I don't know, maybe not afraid to stir the pot, so to speak. So, we start out with Alicia's having a party with her family, and they're all coming together and complaining of how far they have to come, but it doesn't seem like it's far driving wise. And they show one of her aunts, Judy, in the car with a flask, drinking from a flask. I'm like, okay, that's a cool aunt there. And Liz and Alicia almost kind of look alike. And same with Dolores and Liz, and they're best friends. They look alike. Now Liz has a big house on the water, and she walks her cat. And her husband is Jerry. And like I said, they have, well, he has 3 girls, and she's the stepmom. Their birth mom was not present in their life. And her husband owns a cannabis dispensary. So Liz is going to go meet Kelsey and takes the boat to meet her. Which, very interesting. But Rhode Island, where, I mean, it's not an island per se, but it is on body of water. So, then I talked briefly about Kelsey and her past. So they kind of have lunch and discuss things. So, and Joellen, I didn't mention that she met her husband in high school. Their kids are 1, 3, and 10. So next we have Rosie and Alicia get together, and they're walking, and they both have these bouncing jumping shoes, and they're like walking through the park and kind of being silly. And I'm like, those are very interesting shoes. I looked them up online. They can be costly, but you can get knockoffs. And they do make them for kids. And I guess it's supposed to do things good for you. Like, maybe drain, I think it helps drain your lymphatic. So yeah, we'll see if I try out a pair of those shoes. Okay, so Rosie, this is the night it's like, you know how they jump around scene to scene with shows. So Rosie is doing a show on the weekends, and she hosts a picnic, and she has Joellen, Ashley, and Alicia come. And they eat, drink, and then they do the Never Have I Ever game. And one of them is butt stuff and threesome. And of course, Ashley's like not done either of them, and the other ladies, some of them have. So that was very interesting to see. And then Joellen kind of calls out Rosie for bringing a $6 bottle of wine to her house. That it was tacky. So, you know, What happened to the thought? Why do we have to put price tags on everything, you know? So, next day, it's Ashley going to see Jared at the coffee house. And while he's making coffee for people, she's trying to talk to him. And, you know, I mean, Jared's there, but he's not there, like, mind-wise. And, it's kind of funny, the faces Ashley makes. So, next, Joellen is having a party for the 4th. And it's funny, she's like, I don't even know what the 4th means. And she just starts talking crazy stuff, Plymouth Rock and stuff. And it's like, okay, you need a history lesson, girl. So, it's a party. Rosie and Kelsey have a talk because Kelsey wants to know why she's gossiping about her. And that somewhat went well. And then for the food, caviar wieners. That's interesting. I never had caviar, and I probably in my lifetime will never try it. And in this episode, this is when we meet Rula. And Joellen has sparklers at her 4th of July party. And next day, it's Liz and her family, and everyone's getting together. Her stepdaughter's pregnant, and they're talking about guessing if it's a boy or a girl. And then meanwhile, Ashley and Joellen are doing a play date at the park, and Ashley was venting about Jared in the coffee house, how much time he spends there. It's not really a money maker, and he's like a miserable, and she just wants something for him where he's happy and not miserable and stressed and spending all this time away from home. And she said he's a great father and a husband, but she just sees it taking a toll on him. And then we go to Kelsey, Liz, and Rula having lunch. And Rula was, you know, they got in a conversation, and she insulted Liz by saying, well, you don't have kids. Well, okay. Liz is like, I may not have birthed them, but I raised them. So then Rula realizes what she said and apologizes. And Liz says she thinks Rula's husband is still having an affair. That's one of the big storylines, because it was Joellen that seen pictures of the mistress on Instagram sitting on Rula's husband's lap. And Rula is getting like all upset about it because she insists it's not going on it anymore. And the nationality Rula is, they don't believe in divorce, but this is her second marriage, so this will be an interesting storyline to follow. And then Alicia talks about that she doesn't like to drive the highways, bridges, and I can relate to that. And then um, made a comment that she ran over a woman, and there's a story behind that. I don't think she per se did it on purpose. I think maybe the woman jumped in front of her car or something. I don't know. Something crazy like that. Um, so then the girls go on a bus trip. Rula doesn't attend. She's sick. And Ashley's outfit, uh, people on the side were kind of talking about it, but I thought it was cute. It was like a black dress, off shoulder, kind of Renaissance. I thought it was cute. Okay, so now we get back to about the affair. And Joellen said her job was threatened by Rula and her hubby because of this affair, and phone calls were made to her job, and it was pretty much them telling her job, can you please tell her to shut up about this? I thought, that's so very inappropriate, calling somebody's job when she's not talking about it at her job. She's talking about it at home around the other girls, not her job. And you know what? You don't mess with somebody's livelihood. So, the girls, Rula wasn't there. They're all having a lunch. And they had these boxes, and they're doing, okay, why don't we do questions of what is being said and if it's true or not. So each person had to read the questions. Joellen's one was, are you a swinger? And she's like, no. But Rhode Island is a swinging community, I guess. And then the next was about Kelsey. And, does she have 2 boyfriends? And I think this is where she kind of admits, yeah, she does. And I guess that's polyamorous. And she's trying to say, no, it isn't. Okay. Then Liz was asked if she had an affair with her friend Dino, and she's like, no, we are just really good friends. And Rosie, what was Rosie's question? I cannot remember what Rosie's question was, but Ashley was about her virginity, and she's like, yeah, I waited for the right person, and they look at the poor girl like she's weird, but I commend her for that she waited. So we have a scene where Joellen and her husband are talking about the BS with Rula, calling her work and that. And I think she's going to confront her about it. And then they show Liz and Jerry riding their bikes through the park, and they're talking about the rumor of her and her friend Dino. And Liz is planning a party for her husband It's going to be his 54th birthday, so they're having a Studio 54 disco party, which sounds like a lot of fun. So then we meet Kelsey's friend Bill. I don't know. She's not really saying that's her other boyfriend, but Kelsey's mom really wants her to marry him. They've known each other since kids. So, Liz goes to Alicia's house, and Alicia likes dolls. And it's like in her living room, the setup of these dolls, like brats and stuff. And Liz's daughter isn't allowed to touch it. And, I'm sorry, it's Alicia. It's Alicia's house. Liz goes to Alicia's house. And Alicia has a doll collection, and she's had it for years. And, Liz thinks, okay, this is kind of weird. But, I don't know, Alicia, that's like her hobby. So, they get in a discussion about, you know, will Alicia ever get married? And she talks about divorce in the family and how hesitant she is, you know, kind of like some people have. Why ruin a good thing? Some people feel that. Okay. So next, we have Rula. And she's talking about seeing Joellen at Liz's party and the whole, you know, thing of the fair and how she's not looking forward to it. This was a lunch she had with, I believe, Kelsey and Liz. So now we go to Liz's party. And I love the outfits that people are wearing. They're very creative. And then the cups, really cool. They're disco balls. And Rula and her husband show up. And then Joellen and her husband Gary pull him to the side to talk to them. And, you know, Gary's like, you know, that was not cool to mess with my wife's job. That's, you know, our livelihood and that. And Joellen still thinks that Rula's husband is having an affair. And Rula can't believe that Joellen, you know, keeps saying that. And Rula, you know, says to Brian, come on, you know, and admit that it's not going on. It's not, and he wouldn't. And it's just like, he did not say much. But, you know, let me tell you, Gary was a very stand-up guy, sticking up for his wife, where Brian was just a man of not many words. And they leave, and in the car, she's like, you know, what the hell was that? Why didn't you say anything? Oh, you had my back. So, that's something to follow this season of, is he still having an affair or is he not? So then, Liz and Kelsey were talking, and Liz was saying she wanted her husband and Dino and wanted to go down to the shoreline, or the seawall, I think. And I think Liz was kind of drunk in that. And then Kelsey has to bring up the rumor of Liz and Dino, and then Liz just gets pissed off and is telling Kelsey to F off, and, you know, goes upstairs, and pretty much that was, it for the party. It was a lot of people there. It's a party, and they got a beautiful house. So now, the next day, Ashley and Jared are doing a lunch date, and it's funny. Jared says, Jess, to Ashley, and that's funny because me and Marie say Jess a lot. So that was funny to hear somebody else say it. And then Jared complaining about the coffee house, the ice machine, the coffee machine, and the oven, need to be replaced. And I don't know, like I said, and Ashley has said it's not really being profitable, and this was his dream to have his own place, manage it, and that, and it's not. It's not what it was all, envisioned, what he envisioned. So stay tuned for that. But I'm sure with this show airing, that business probably has picked up. Ashley did say that besides John Bon Jovi's place, the coffee house is like number 2 celebrity owned attraction. So, alright, so then we show Rosie and Rich, and they're out to dinner, celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and Rich is older than Rosie, and Rosie's saying she doesn't want kids, and that when it came to her wedding, her mom was like very controlling of it and insisted on a Catholic wedding. So that's what she did, and she feels like she did it for her mom, not for herself. And that pretty much ends the first episode of I'm sorry, is that still the first? That's a lot. Don't mind me. I'm sorry, that's the second episode. I thought so, because I'm looking at how long I've been recording. That ends the second episode of Rhode Island. So now we will go to the third episode. And Real Housewives of Rhode Island is on Sunday nights, and The Valley is on Wednesday nights. So where is episode 3 notes? Because it was just on. Oh, don't mind me while I page through my notes. So, seems like the rain has calmed down. I probably should plant, take advantage of all this rain so stuff will grow. Alright, this is really odd. Where is episode 3? Missing something? I got one. Really strange. Where is episode 3? Oh, let's see. What happens in episode 3? I'm gonna have to pause this. I'll be back. Well, this is what happens when you don't mark down what happens in label 1, 2, and 3. So I've already pretty much covered everything in 3. I guess all of them. I didn't label them. But the disco party is where we end episode 3. So, like I said, I am really enjoying Rhode Island. And like I said, it's new. And I look forward to see what transpires with the different storylines with this show. So, hope you enjoyed my recap. Feels a little awkward talking to myself in the phone. So, we shall see. It's just so much easier to have a banter with your co-host. So, it's probably the most boring recap of the show, so I will work on trying to make it more exciting. Alright. Until then, till next week.